This is one of Microsoft's usability laboratories. We bring users in with different levels of skills and expose them to our products well before we ship them. Now this results in lots and lots of changes, sometimes to the overall design and sometimes to things as small as the prompt text or the terminology that we use. Overall, it's made a big impact in our ability to deliver easy-to-use products. One of the products that we're testing today is called Pen Computing for Windows. The idea is that hardware manufacturers will be building PCs that include a touch-sensitive surface. In fact, this is a prototype machine that NCR has already built. You use a pen right here on this surface, and you can handwrite just like you would on paper, and the computer recognizes it. So you don't have to use a keyboard. A machine like this could be taken into a meeting or out on a sales call and used in a very natural way. We're making sure that it's easy for people to work with Windows for pen computing. Let's go ahead and take a look at what this product is going to be like. I've got Byron Bishop, who's the lead engineer for our development effort.
Hello, Bill.
Let's go ahead and show a demonstration of the pen Windows. We're starting out here in the Notebook app, and all we have to do is click on the Calendar tab to move to the Calendar page. To select a particular date, we just point to it, and so let's look at February 7th. So I can see my schedule, and for example, if I want to draw in a map for this dinner appointment I have, I just scribble right there on the screen, and you can see it saves the ink that we put on it. Also, it's very easy to enter a new appointment. We simply use normal handwriting, and as soon as we're done, the computer recognizes that text. We also have what are called gestures that provide commands. For example, if we want to delete an appointment, we just strike through it. That's one of the easy-to-remember gestures. Or if we want to take that text and move it somewhere else, we use the insert gesture. Over here on this to-do list, we can go ahead and add in a reminder that we want to write a memo. So that's working with the calendar. Now we'll go back to the index page and indicate that we want a blank sheet of paper. And what we're going to show on this is entering a diagram that shows the relationship of the different parts of pen Windows. Well, we start by putting in some text, and it immediately recognizes that. Down at the bottom, we'll put some other text to show that how Windows is there. And over on the right, we're going to put the pen extensions. One of the interesting things is that we recognize not only the text, but also shapes that you draw. So, for example, if we draw a little square around this text, even if we don't do it quite right, it knows that we want a square, and you can see it makes it perfect. At the top, let's use a circle, and we can see it recognizes that as well. Then we can connect these things together, and even though we don't draw our lines perfectly, it knows we want a straight line, and so it recognizes that. A key element of this pen computing is handwriting recognition. And now, everyone has handwriting that's a little bit different. So we've designed it so that it adjusts to your particular handwriting. As an example, let's go ahead and enter THIS, this, but we connected the T and the H. And so you can see that it didn't recognize it properly. Now what we can do is train it that we often write it that way. And so we bring up a trainer and simply pick the letters we want to train in, write them properly, and ask it to remember those shapes. So as soon as that's done, we can go back, and this time, if we do exactly the same writing, you can see that it recognizes it properly. Another thing that's really great about these pen extensions is they allow you to use existing applications. To illustrate that, what we've done is used our Visual Basic development product and take just 1 hour to write a little data entry application. We'll click on the icon to bring it up, and you can see it's a nice, simple form. We can show how the pen works very well with selections, like the list box here. And it also works very well when you enter in numbers. In this application, we've told it that's a numeric field, so it's even easier to recognize since it knows that there's just numbers going in. When we fill out the name on the ship to field, it goes ahead and looks that up in the database and is able to fill in the rest of this form. So all it needs is my actual signature, so I'll just go down to the bottom and sign like I normally would, and it's right there as part of the form. The send button will send that off so that the order is processed immediately. I hope this gives you a sense of how pen computing will expand the number of places that the personal computer is a valuable tool. Looks really great, Byron.
Well, thank you, Bill.